Welcome back, travel enthusiasts. Leading group tours, it can be so rewarding. It's not just about showcasing incredible destinations, though. It's about creating those shared journey experiences. It's about fostering those connections and memories that'll last a lifetime. But, let's face it, getting those groups together in the first place requires a bit of, well, marketing and sales know-how.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we're diving into today.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And it's interesting, isn't it, how many people, even those already leading tours, maybe don't fully get the distinct roles that both marketing and sales play, especially in building a successful group tour business.
Right. It's easy to just think, okay, I have this fantastic tour, people will just come. But there's a whole strategy, right,
Yeah,
behind attracting those travelers and then turning that interest into actual bookings.
absolutely. And that's where understanding the difference between marketing and sales is just so crucial. Think of marketing as the art of sparking that curiosity.
Okay.
You're building a brand that resonates with your ideal group traveler.
Yeah, it's like that initial buzz
Yeah.
that I need to be a part of this.
Exactly. Sales, on the other hand, is about nurturing that interest. It's guiding those potential travelers through the decision-making process. So you're addressing their questions, overcoming those hesitations, and ultimately making it easy for them to say, yes, I want to join this adventure.
Yeah, it's that extra layer of connection, that personalized touch that helps people feel confident and excited about taking the leap.
Exactly. And that's actually where companies like Indus Travels, who specialize in group tours, really stand out, I think. They've mastered the art of not just creating those incredible itineraries, but also providing that, very robust support for group leaders. They recognize the unique challenges and opportunities that come with curating these group travel experiences.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I've heard of Indus Travels. They have a pretty solid reputation in the industry. What are some of the specific ways that they support group leaders?
Well, one key aspect is their dedicated group sales team. This means that group leaders have a direct point of contact who understands the nuances of managing group bookings.
Hmm.
Someone who's there to answer those questions and provide that personalized assistance throughout the process.
So it's like having a partner who really gets it, the
Exact.
complexities of group travel and can help streamline those headaches.
Exactly. And then there's the benefit of guaranteed space on preferred departures.
Oh, okay.
This eliminates the uncertainty of trying to secure enough spots for your group.
Especially during like peak season.
Exactly. And Indus Travels also offers personalized web pages specifically for booking groups. This makes managing things like payments, communication, and trip details really easy for both the leader and the participants.
It sounds like they really get the needs of group leaders and have created a system that, simplifies everything. So with a better understanding of how marketing and sales can work together, especially with the support, a company like Indus Travels can provide, let's dive into some actionable strategies, all right, for attracting those group travelers. One framework that I always find helpful is the 7 Ps of tourism marketing.
Ah, yes, the 7 Ps. It's a classic for a reason. It really provides that comprehensive lens for crafting your marketing strategy.
Yeah.
It covers all the bases.
Exactly. And while all 7 are important, I feel like some might be particularly relevant to group tour leaders. Let's start with product, because at the end of the day, it's the heart of what you're offering, right?
Absolutely. A compelling product is the foundation of everything. But for group tours, it goes beyond just the itinerary or destination. It's about crafting an experience that really caters to the unique dynamics and desires of a group.
So it's about understanding what kind of group you want to attract and then really designing an experience that resonates with, their interests, their travel styles, and their expectations.
Exactly. And that's where deep knowledge of your target audience becomes absolutely crucial. What are their motivations for traveling? What are their pain points? What kind of atmosphere are they looking for, in that group setting?
So it's like you're not just selling a trip, you're creating an experience,
Yeah.
that fulfills a deeper need or desire. Like
Yeah.
it's market research meets travel psychology.
Exactly. And once you have a very clear understanding of your ideal group traveler, you can then tailor your product accordingly. This might mean offering themed tours focused on specific interests,
Right.
like photography, culinary arts, or history, or it might mean incorporating activities and experiences that foster connection and create a strong sense of community within the group.
I love that. It's about going beyond, the typical tourist trail and crafting something truly unique, memorable, something that really speaks to the hearts of your travelers.
Exactly. And that's what's going to make your group tours stand out in, that very crowded market.
Okay, so product is all about creating that irresistible experience. But how do we make sure that the right people actually know about it? That's where place comes in, right?
Yes. Place is all about distribution. It's about making sure your tours are visible and accessible in the places where your target audience is actually looking. And for group tour leaders, this might require a slightly different approach than traditional tour operators.
Oh, interesting. What do you mean?
Well, think about it. If you're targeting a specific niche, like, say, bird watchers or history buffs, you wouldn't necessarily just rely solely on general travel websites or platforms. You'd want to be present in those spaces where those communities gather, online and offline.
So it's about being strategic with your distribution channels and meeting your potential travelers where they're already at.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense. Can you give us some examples of how a group tour leader might do this?
Absolutely. Let's say you specialize in photography tours. Joining photography-focused Facebook groups, participating in those online forums, or even partnering with, say, local camera shops could be a really great way to connect with that target audience.
That's really smart. It's about being proactive and finding those niche communities where
Exactly.
your ideal travelers are already engaged, and passionate about their thing.
Exactly. And it's not just about those online spaces. Attending industry events like travel conferences or trade shows can also be incredibly valuable for group tour leaders.
Yes, those face-to-face interactions, I feel, are so important for building relationships and establishing your credibility. Plus, it's a chance to meet, other professionals in the industry and kind of learn from their experience.
Exactly. Networking is a powerful tool, especially in the world of group travel, where trust and personal connections can go such a long way.
This is all such great stuff. We've covered product and place, and I'm already feeling inspired to rethink my approach to marketing, honestly. But let's not forget about price, which can be a bit tricky sometimes, especially when you're crafting these group experiences.
Yeah, you're right. Pricing is always a balancing act. You want to be competitive, of course, but you also want to make sure you're accurately reflecting the value of the unique experience that you're offering.
So it's not just about the numbers. It's about understanding the perceived value of the whole package, right?
Mm.
Including those intangible elements like group dynamics, shared experiences, and expert leadership.
Exactly. And for group tours, pricing can also get a bit more complex because you might have, different group sizes, levels of customization, and different inclusions.
Right. And you might be working with varying budgets and expectations from, all these different groups.
Exactly. So it's important to have a very clear pricing strategy that is transparent, flexible, and aligned with the value that you're providing. And don't be afraid to experiment with different pricing models, like tiered pricing based on group size or add-on options, for those who want to enhance their experience.
So it's about finding that sweet spot where you're meeting the needs of your travelers, but also, ensuring the financial sustainability of your business. This is all such fantastic information. We've laid a great foundation with product, place, and price. But how do we actually get the word out about, these amazing group tours that we're crafting?
That's where the fun begins. It's time to talk about promotion, and we'll dive into that right after, well, we'll just dive right in.
Let's do it.
All right. All right, so let's unpack promotion.
Okay.
This is where we explore, all the creative and strategic ways to really get the word out
Yeah.
about your group tours and entice those travelers.
Yeah. Unleash our inner marketing gurus.
Seriously.
Make some magic happen. Where do we even start?
Well, the landscape of, marketing channels has evolved so much, especially in recent years.
Yeah.
And it's important to have a mix of strategies to reach your target audience, effectively.
I've heard a lot about the importance of social media. It seems like every tour company is on Facebook and Instagram these days.
Oh, social media is definitely a powerhouse, but it's about more than just having a presence on those platforms, right?
Right.
It's about using them strategically to connect with your ideal travelers, share compelling content, and really build a community around your brand.
So it's not just about posting pretty pictures. There's a real art to using it effectively for group tours.
Absolutely. And it's important to remember that different platforms cater to different audiences and types of content.
Okay.
For example, if you're targeting families or multi-generational groups, Facebook might be your go-to platform for connecting with them,
Yeah.
sharing those detailed itineraries and fostering those conversations.
That makes sense. Facebook is great for those, longer form posts and discussions. What about Instagram? It seems like everyone's obsessed with those perfect travel photos these days.
Instagram is all about visual storytelling. It's a great platform for showcasing the beauty of your destinations, highlighting those unique experiences that you offer, and even giving potential travelers, a glimpse into the fun and the camaraderie of your group tours.
So it's about capturing those moments that make people say, I want to be a part of that.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of video content.
Oh, yeah.
Platforms like YouTube and TikTok are incredible for engaging a wider audience and conveying the energy and the excitement of your group tours.
Right. It's like bringing those travel experiences to life.
Yeah.
Like you can practically feel yourself on the journey with them.
Precisely. And social media isn't just about broadcasting your message either.
Okay.
It's about engaging with your audience, responding to comments, answering questions, and fostering those personal connections that can turn followers into, loyal travelers.
It's about building those relationships, just like we talked about with sales.
Exactly. Now, while social media is great for reaching that broad audience, email marketing, you know what? It remains incredibly effective for nurturing those relationships and sharing more targeted information.
Email, it's like the classic reliable friend of the marketing world, that never goes out of style.
Exactly. A well-crafted email campaign can be a powerful tool for staying top of mind with potential travelers, keeping them updated on upcoming tours, sharing exclusive offers, and providing those personalized touches that make people feel valued.
So it's about more than just sending out generic blasts. There's an art to email marketing as well.
Absolutely. It's about segmenting your audience, personalizing those messages, and providing valuable content that keeps people engaged and excited about joining your tours.
So you're treating those emails like little gifts of travel inspiration delivered straight to their inbox.
Exactly. And don't forget about search engine optimization, or SEO as it's commonly known. This is all about making sure your website and online content are easily discoverable by those who are actively searching for, group tours online.
Right, because even with the best social media and email campaigns, if people can't find you when they're searching for tours online, you're missing out on those valuable leads.
Absolutely. And SEO can be a bit technical, but it's worth investing the time and effort to understand the basics.
Okay.
Things like using relevant keywords, optimizing your website content, and building backlinks can make a huge difference in your online visibility.
So it's like giving your website a boost so it rises to the top of those search results.
Precisely. And don't underestimate the power of, those traditional marketing channels.
Oh, interesting.
Especially when targeting specific demographics.
So you're saying things like print advertising or even attending industry events still have their place in the world of group tour marketing?
Absolutely. Think about it. If you specialize in senior group tours, placing ads in publications targeted towards retirees or participating in events, specifically for seniors could be incredibly effective.
It's about meeting your audience where they are, whether it's online or offline.
Exactly. And don't forget about the power of partnerships.
Partnerships, what do you mean by that?
Well, think about collaborating with complementary businesses or organizations that serve a similar target audience.
Oh, okay. So for example, if you specialize in culinary tours, partnering with a cooking school or a gourmet food shop.
Exactly. You could offer joint promotions, cross-promote each other's services, and tap into each other's networks, right?
Yeah.
To reach a wider audience.
That's brilliant. It's about leveraging those relationships and finding creative ways to expand your reach.
Precisely. And let's not forget about one of the most powerful marketing tools of all, word of mouth.
Oh, yes. Word of mouth is like marketing gold. It's authentic, it's credible, it comes from a place of genuine enthusiasm.
Exactly. Happy travelers are your best advocates. They'll share their incredible experiences with their friends, family, and colleagues, and those personal recommendations can be far more influential than any advertising campaign.
So how do we encourage that word of mouth magic?
Well, it starts with delivering those exceptional experiences that exceed expectations.
Of course, people are more likely to rave about a tour if they had an amazing time.
Exactly. And there are things you can do to encourage those positive reviews.
Okay.
Make it easy for people to share their experiences by providing links to review sites, showcasing testimonials on your website, and even offering small incentives for referrals.
So it's about actively nurturing that word of mouth marketing, making it easy for people to spread the love.
Precisely. Now, all these promotional efforts are fantastic for generating interest and building awareness, but ultimately we want to convert that interest into bookings, right?
We want those eager travelers to take the leap and join our adventures.
Exactly. And that's where effective sales strategies come into play. And we'll dive into those right now.
All right, so we've talked about crafting that, irresistible product, making sure it's visible in the right place.
Yeah.
and finding that pricing sweet spot, right?
Hmm.
We've even explored all those, creative ways to promote our group tours.
Hmm.
Now it's time to talk about actually turning that interest into those bookings.
Yes.
What are some key strategies for selling group tours, effectively?
Well, you're right. Getting people excited about your tours is only the first step. Now we need to guide them toward that, that yes,
Yeah.
that moment when they decide, okay, I'm going to commit to joining this adventure. And for group tour leaders, sales is often a very personal and interactive process.
I can see that. You're not just selling a product, like you said.
Hmm.
You're selling an experience, that shared journey, a sense of community.
Mm.
It requires a different approach than, selling, I don't know, a car.
Exactly. And that's why building relationships is so important. People are more likely to book a group tour with someone they trust, someone who genuinely understands their needs and desires.
So it's about creating that connection that I feel comfortable traveling with this person.
Precisely. And that trust building starts from the very first interaction. Whether it's a phone call, an email exchange, or a face-to-face meeting, it's important to be approachable, enthusiastic, and genuinely interested in, well, getting to know your potential travelers.
So it's about more than just like reciting an itinerary or, rattling off prices. It's about having a real conversation, understanding their motivations for traveling, and kind of painting a picture of what it would be like to be a part of your group.
Exactly. And that's where deep product knowledge becomes so important. You need to be able to answer their questions thoroughly, address any concerns they might have, and tailor your pitch to their specific interests.
I can see that. Like if someone asks about, accessibility or dietary restrictions, you need to have those answers, ready. It shows you've really thought through the details and are prepared to handle those specific needs.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of storytelling. Weaving those personal anecdotes into your sales conversations can make your tours come alive and create an emotional connection with potential travelers.
Oh, I love that. So instead of just saying, we visit this historical site, you might share a story about, a time you were there and something fascinating happened, or something you learned that completely changed your perspective.
Precisely. Those personal touches can make such a difference. And don't be afraid to showcase your passion. Enthusiasm is contagious, and people are drawn to those who genuinely love what they do.
That's so true. When you're passionate about something, it shines through. It makes other people want to be a part of it.
Exactly. And when it comes to closing those deals, remember that people often need a little nudge to take that final step.
Yeah. So it's about more than just presenting the information and hoping for the best. There are techniques for gently guiding them towards that yes.
Absolutely. This might involve creating a sense of urgency, like mentioning that, spots are filling up quickly or offering a special incentive for booking early.
Yeah. A little bit of motivation can go a long way.
Exactly. And sometimes it's as simple as making the booking process as seamless as possible.
Right. No one wants to deal with a complicated or confusing booking system. It should be easy, intuitive, especially for group bookings where you might have, multiple people coordinating.
Precisely. And remember, even after someone has booked their tour, your job isn't done. The sales process extends to that pre-trip communication and ensuring they feel well prepared and excited about the journey ahead.
So it's about maintaining that connection, that sense of anticipation and excitement all the way up to the day of departure.
Exactly. And that level of personalized attention is what sets group tour leaders apart and creates those truly memorable travel experiences that people will cherish for years to come.
This has been such a fantastic deep dive. We've covered so much ground from the, fundamentals of marketing and sales to those specific strategies for attracting, engaging, and converting group travelers.
We've explored the power of storytelling, the importance of building relationships, and the art of crafting experiences that resonate with people.
And we even discovered how companies like Indus Travels can provide that invaluable support to group leaders,
Yes.
helping them navigate all the complexities of running a successful group tour business.
It's been a pleasure sharing these insights.
To all of you listening, thank you so much for joining us on this journey. We hope you've gained some valuable knowledge and inspiration to take your group tour leadership to the next level.
Remember, at the end of the day, it's all about fostering that sense of community,
Yeah.
shared discovery, and lasting memories.
So go out there, create those incredible group travel experiences, and keep spreading the joy of exploration.
Happy travels, everyone.
Until next time, keep diving deep.